I want you to picture this. You're driving a car down the street, and out of nowhere, an old lady steps right out onto the road. You slam on the brakes hard. The tires smoke, the car makes this wild, screeching noise, and it comes to a complete halt just inches away. Phew, total safety achieved. But now, hold that thought and picture a totally different scenario. You're walking down the street, feeling cool, strutting confidently, when suddenly you step on a bright yellow banana peel. Whoosh! Your feet fly into the air and you are flat on your back. So here's the big question. Why did that massive, heavy car manage to stop perfectly and safely, but your feet completely lost control on a tiny little fruit peel? Well, the answer to both of these mysteries is a single, invisible superpower that totally rules our physical world, and that is friction. Necessary evil. Let's get right into it. Part 2. Defining the copycat force. What exactly is this invisible brake? Okay, so simply put, friction is a force that opposes motion. But the absolute key thing you need to grasp here is that it's essentially a copycat force. It literally only shows up when one object tries to move over another, and it always acts in the exact opposite direction of your movement. If you push a textbook to the right across your study desk, friction pushes back to the left to slow it down. Push it left, and friction pushes right. It perfectly counters whatever movement you make. Think of it kinda like this. Friction is that one friend who just always disagrees with whatever you want to do. You want to go forward? Friction says, nope, let's go backward. It is this perfectly disagreeable opposing entity that is just constantly pushing back against your motion. Moving on to the microscopic mountains. Let's zoom in on the actual science of surfaces here. You know, you might look at your polished marble floor or your smooth study desk and think, hey, this floor is perfectly smooth. But, well, science says otherwise. Every single surface out there has irregularities. Now listen up, because irregularities is a massive, absolutely crucial word for your exams, so make sure you note it down. Under a super powerful microscope, even the smoothest table looks like a wild range of jagged mountain peaks with tiny bumps and dips. When you put an object on the floor, the jagged mountains of the object lock perfectly into the jagged mountains of the floor, kind of like tightly interlocking your fingers together. So here is the bottom line. Friction is really just the resistance you feel when you are trying to break the lock between those microscopic irregularities. Whenever you're putting in the physical effort to push or pull a heavy box across a room, you aren't just fighting the weight of the box. You are scientifically applying force to physically break that microscopic lock between the two surfaces. And you know what? This brilliantly illustrates the banana peel mystery from our opening. Let's break down the exact science of why that slip actually happens. Step 1, that yellow banana peel is absolutely full of slippery oils, and when you step on it, those oils completely fill up all the tiny mountain gaps on the road surface. Step 2, because those gaps are filled, the surface suddenly becomes truly smooth, with absolutely no irregularities. Which leads us to step 3. 0 irregularities means 0 interlocking, and 0 interlocking means absolutely 0 friction, and bam, you slip and fall flat on your back. Our final section, the necessary evil. Let's explore friction's dual personality. Your textbook uses a pretty intense phrase for this. Friction is a necessary evil. Sounds dramatic, right? Like a movie villain. Why on earth would science call something so fundamental an evil? Why does something so incredibly vital to our everyday existence actually have a dark side? Let's unpack this dual personality. Well, here is the great divide. Why is it evil? Because honestly, it's incredibly destructive over time. It wears out the soles of your favorite sneakers, it shreds car tires, it damages expensive machine parts, and it wastes massive amounts of energy as heat. Actually, try this with me right now. Just vigorously rub your palms together as fast as you can. Do you feel them getting hot? That heat is literally friction wasting your physical energy. But on the flip side, look at why it's necessary. Because without friction, you couldn't even write with your pen on a piece of paper. The ink would just slide right off. Teachers couldn't use chalk on blackboards. Nails wouldn't stain your walls. Giant buildings wouldn't be able to stand. And most importantly, cars could never apply their brakes to save lives on the road. So let's tie this whole thing together. Your absolute biggest takeaway from today's explainer is to always remember those microscopic mountain peaks tightly interlocking right beneath you. The next time you're out riding your bicycle and you safely hit the brakes, or you watch a cartoon character hilariously wipe out on the floor, you now know the exact invisible superpower that's making it all happen. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. Take a look around you today. Can you name just one more place in your daily life where we actively try to reduce friction? I really want you to start looking at your world a little differently now. Spot that invisible force and drop your answers down in the comments. Keep learning, keep questioning, and hey, watch your step out there. See you next time.